Basically, I'll probably get interrupted in this video by noise. So they film me in this car. I have a new car, a different company, right? An old car with a Mitsubishi, whatever. This is a different company, and they're still filming me. I have people on record saying they're filming me in my room. They picked up on our covertly recorder, and then another person who seems like a perp, someone who's in on it against me, who said that they could tell it was filmed in the old car, and there's similar fumes in this car. What are the odds? I've driven cars before these, after I've rented cars. This is a rare thing. It's only in my cars have I ever been fumed, and then one time in my dad's car. Okay, so I've only been fumed in the cars that belong to my family in my life, 3 of them, if I remember correctly, and never in any other car. And I always notice it before I don't feel anxious and say maybe that's what's happening. I notice it first, so it's no anxiety disorder. It's not schizophrenia. There's witnesses. It's open and shut. Okay. There's 20 witnesses to the harassment campaign in general on record, and videos, and there's 2 witnesses to the filming. So this one, let's shoot through real quickly. It's about their ideal woman. When you look at points of references, it's important. Okay, their ideal woman is a horrible, horrible person, and there's a spectrum, and females, all attractive females, try to be like this ideal. It's basically somebody who's a nerd, okay, a whore, a sorority type of person, very, very social, and a corporate type of person in one who's attractive. Okay, so we look up the word nerd, Ivy League people, etc. We see it's a foolish and contemptible person, right, who's socially awkward. But when they come together in groups, they kind of act like the who's who in society, the nerds. Like Bill Gates gets together with Soros and Elon Musk and so on and so forth. They were all to get together and like, oh, we're successful, and look at these attractive women, and look at this nice food and nice clothes, right? It's fucking stupid not to see that. I live in the Silicon Valley. I see this bitch ass shit all the time. I see them trying to be cool. They're a bunch of cowards. They let me get gang stalked. Don't lift a finger to help. All right, so we see the whore. The whore is also foolish, right? She's a dumb bitch who thinks life has no deeper meaning. She doesn't see her body as sacred. There's many religions that teach that. Jesus said that his body was a temple that he's going to rebuild in 3 days, and so on and so forth. She didn't give a fuck about the idea of a Virgin Mary, nothing. She's just sleeping with scum, okay? And they have less of a sex drive than men, generally speaking, but they're still whoring themselves around. So the corporate whore, of course, the picture I put on the screen illustrates my point times infinity. The sorority chick is a mega groupie. A mega groupie in a society where it's normal to be a nerd or a whore, especially in college. The corporate chick is mega greedy. Instead of doing something righteous with her life, she's going to work for a corporation, and there's many evil corporations, pharmaceutical companies. They're basically all evil. If it's a Fortune 500 company, a successful corporation, it's evil, and everyone knows better than to actually think people believe that you're right when you say, hey, it's just because they're successful. We all know it's a crony capitalist system. The government's corrupt. Corporations are the reason why the government's corrupt. It's the root of corruption. It's the core evil. Corporation, core pirate, corporate, etc. Okay. So that's basically, what I'm saying, what's wrong with their model. You can put the rest together with the white face paint makeup and connect it to the Crow, Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son. These people are mad because they're not the African martial artists. Compare Bruce Lee's character to the Black Panther. Compare Brandon Lee's character to the Black Panther. Okay? All these people put on white face paint because they're mad, because they're not the divine natural order, and they're in a kind of satanic Greco-Roman orgy order. Okay, you have Maleficent. Ursula in some of her depictions has white face paint. Cruella de Vil, I've seen her look like some white face paint-ish depictions. We see the Addams family. We see the WWF, WCW wrestlers. Some weirdos. We see the kind of rock and roll people, Marilyn Manson. All these Satanists. It depicts the spirit of an evil ghost, right? I talk about Casper, which is C rapes scrambled. I talk about the anagrams and so on and so forth, and all the wordplay and the occult cut-ups, and how Crowley was popular. And these are those weirdos with whores wear the face paint and so on and so forth.